All right, in today's top story and in our Sunrise Smart Start, a man has been convicted of murdering Johnny Washington in Rochester back in 2015. However, he's also been released and cannot be tried again after a mistake with the Monroe County Jail.
Here's what happened. Terence Lewis walked out of the 5 Points Correctional Facility a free man, even though he was supposed to spend more than 2 decades in prison. The victim in the case was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in 2015. By the time police connected Lewis to the killing, he was already doing time in Pennsylvania in a federal prison for a separate case. They brought him here to Monroe County to stand trial for the second-degree murder charge, and that is where the error happened. The sheriff's office sent him back to PA while awaiting trial. That process is called shuttling, and it is not legal. The mistake was never addressed before or after Lewis was found guilty. It was brought up late last year, and a judge reviewed it, saying he had no choice but to let Lewis out. Sheriff Todd Baxter talked about this last night with News 8, saying he takes full responsibility.
That simple violation of this law, although we did, and the sheriff's responsible for that, I take 100% credit for this. The repercussions are absolutely incredible. Vacate a murder conviction. I cannot imagine what the family's going through. I'm so angry, so frustrated, and my heart bleeds for that family. Sincerely, they lost a loved one, murdered. We cops got the bad guy, brought him to justice. He was convicted by the district attorney's office, by a jury here, and all that is vacated for this. It doesn't make sense.
As for why they can't retry the case, the judge said the decision made based on jail population and timing, not what's in the law, entitles the defendant to dismissal of the murder indictment with prejudice. Happening today, it is the sentencing for a man who raped a young girl inside a corner store in Rochester.
Ron Spitzer joining us live this morning, just hours before Shaddad Al-Gaithi will be sentenced. Ron, what can you tell us of the case?
The 23-year-old pled guilty to rape and weapon charges. Both Al-Gaithi and James Hampton were arrested in this case. Police say the 2 men locked the girl inside the store on Central Park, right across from School 25 in 2022. Al-Gaithi is also a registered sex offender from a 2021 conviction. This case also led to changes in the Monroe County Probation Department. An independent review and an assessment from the County Office of Public Integrity found numerous issues, including inadequate training, flawed procedures, and policies that hadn't been updated in decades. The report offered several recommendations for change, including mandatory site visits at employment locations. Al-Gaithi is scheduled to be sentenced this afternoon at 2. The case against Hampton is pending. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Ron. Also in court, a man convicted in the 2022 murder of 42-year-old Antoine Paris. Police say 31-year-old Laquan Hill was having an argument with his father while walking by Paris's house on Frost Avenue. Then they say Paris tried to intervene and Hill stabbed Paris. He was convicted of second-degree murder. Hill's sentencing will be today at 9:30. Meanwhile, state inspectors, they've seized about $500,000 worth of marijuana in Rochester, that from 6 different stores. News 8 getting this exclusive look at 3 inspections by the Office of Cannabis Management. The products seized include jars of flour, joints, edibles, and a bag of illegal mushrooms. At one store, they even seized hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cannabis items in packages that could easily have enticed children.
The ones that are trademark infringement, so the package that says Skittles on it or Lucky Charms, those are the packages that we really want to get off the street.
And so far, no arrests have yet been made, no charges filed, but a notice of violation and a cease and desist order were issued. Additional charges could be pending if the owners do not comply or if they find any other violations.
8 minutes to go until 7 o'clock. If you're about to head out and hop on an expressway, maybe coming in from Webster, Penfield, crossing into downtown, 590 is clear and at speed. Gates, Chili area, west side 490, all looking good. 390 as well, passing through Greece. We'll check that morning commute again at about 7:25. News 8, your local election headquarters results now. The seat in the House previously held by New York Republican George Santos is going to flip. The Democratic candidate Tom Suozzi wins that special election. It comes after the House expelled Santos from Congress following all of his lies about his biography that led to his indictment on fraud charges. Suozzi, who held that seat for 6 years previously before stepping down to make a run for governor, defeated Ethiopian-born Republican Mazi Pilip. This will narrow the already thin majority for Republicans in the House, as they have struggled as of late to pass new legislation.
7 schools in the Rochester City School District will be renamed. 5 of these names directly tied to people of color who called Rochester home, including Andrew Langston, an influential businessman who founded WDKX in 1974, one of the earliest black-owned radio stations in New York State. The newly reconstructed middle school at 1 Edgerton Park will be named after Langston, and some members had originally raised concerns over the choice for the change to the school replacing Franklin High. That will be renamed the Padilla High School, after the longtime Puerto Rican family credited with being pillars in the Rochester community.
They said you could have came up with a better recommendation for someone who had done work, within that area.
Juan Padilla, and we're going back into the family in this and far into the name, was the first teacher to bring bilingual programming to Franklin High School, right? And that's kind of the reasoning behind that as well.
The board also spent time presenting what they call a high-level budget overview, and a spending plan is due back to the state by March 1st. They say they're still working to close a more than $14 million gap between the projected revenue and expenses for the next school year. We do have a full list of those changes available for you to check over on our website, rochesterfirst.com.
The National Retail Federation says Americans will spend more than $25 billion to mark this Valentine's Day. More than half of those surveyed here say they do plan to celebrate with candy, greeting cards, and flowers as the top 3 items. Americans are also expected to head out, make those reservations, spending nearly $5 billion on their night out, maybe going to dinner and a movie. Yeah, those are your plans. Listen, you can bundle up, snuggle up, take that jacket with you and the gloves too.
Tip your servers. I know I've done a couple of stories on a lot of restaurants really do cater to the couples. They have special meals available to people to get out. But I love the kids celebrating Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
That's true. You guys were telling me the stories about like the cute cards, getting the kids involved in making those. I feel like, oh, you really want to save those, right?
It's the best. It's the best. Just handwritten, scribbled all over it. It all means love.
Marker drawings
it all means
everywhere.
Love.
However you're celebrating, make sure to bundle up because it is cold out there. We've got partly to mostly cloudy skies right now. Your live sky eye. Always nice to show that. It's probably the first time I've shown a sky eye during the show.
A little light.
Right? 18 Medina, how about that? Davia, you're at 20. Honey Falls, 20. Hilton, you're at 22 degrees. Upper 20s to around 30, we'll say, for this afternoon. And yes, the sun will come out. I know we've got clouds right now, but expect some partial clearing there. Let's look at your 8-day. Tomorrow's going to be busy. We've got snow, rain mix, likely in the afternoon, and then we're cold through the weekend.
All right, plenty to come. Thank you so much for sharing your morning with us here at News 8 Sunrise, everybody, and happy Valentine's Day.
Enjoy your day, everybody. CBS Mornings coming your way next at 7.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.